Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Alice Fell or Poverty, a poem by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth, one of the greatest poets, was born on 7th April 1770. And in this poem, Alice Fell or Poverty, he dramatizes the idea that poverty is one of the main reasons for misery. Here, the narrator is an unnamed speaker. He meets a girl, Alice Fell, on the road. The narrator, the postboy, Alice Fell, and the host of the tavern are the characters in the poem. The rhyme scheme is ABAB. We find that the speaker, along with the postboy, driving fast with great speed because the moon was hidden by the dark clouds. At that time, the speaker suddenly heard an alarming sound, and the sound seemed as if it was following him in the chase in which he was traveling. The speaker calls out to the boy to stop the chase. The horses stop at once. Now the speaker does not hear any sound. So he asks the boy to continue the journey, and the boy cracks his whip, urging the horses to run faster because of the rain. Again, the moment the chase starts moving, the narrator hears the cry again. So he instructs the boy to stop the horses once again. The boy and the poet get out of the chase and go at the back, and to their surprise, they find a little girl sitting alone behind the carriage. They discover that she was the one who was making that cry. The girl shows the narrator that her cloak is caught in the wheel, and it appears, that is, the cloak appears old and weather beaten like a scarecrow in a garden. Somehow, with great difficulty, they managed to free the cloak, which was fully caught in the wheel. And unfortunately, it was in a very pitiful state, looking like a miserable rag. The narrator asks the girl where she was going alone at that time in such a lonely place. The girl says that she was going to Durham. The narrator then kindly offers for her to come along with them in the carriage. Throughout the journey, the poor girl remained unresponsive to any form of comfort. She sat there continuously sobbing as if her grief would never ever come to an end. The narrator asks the girl if she lives in Durham, and as they are talking, she reveals that her name is Alice Fell and adds that she is without a father and mother, that is, she is an orphan. The girl appears that losing her cloak was as if she had lost her only friend. She continues to weep and cannot be comforted, indicating the depth of her sadness and emotional distress. Finally, they reach the tavern, and the narrator explains Alice's sorrow to the innkeeper. The narrator then provides money to the host so that they can buy a new cloak for Alice's old one. The ending of the poem suggests that the next day, Alice would proudly wear the new cloak, which is made of warm duffel grey fabric. Despite being an orphan, she carries herself with pride and confidence, and the poem ends here. It's a beautiful poem by Wordsworth. Now let's read the poem. The postboy drove with fierce career. For threatening clouds, the moon had drowned. When as we hurried on, my ear was smitten with a startling sound. As if the wind blew many ways, I heard the sound and more and more. It seemed to follow with the chase, and still I heard it as before. At length I to the boy called out. He stopped his horses at the word, but neither cry nor voice nor shout nor aught else like it could be heard. The boy then smacked his whip, and fast the horses scampered through the rain. But hearing soon upon the blast the cry, I bade him halt again. Forthwith alighting on the ground, whence comes, said I, this piteous moan? And there a little girl I found sitting behind the chaise alone. My cloak, no other word she spake, but aloud and bitterly she wept, as if her innocent heart would break. And down from off her seat she leapt. What ails you, child? She sobbed. Look Look here. I saw it in the wheel entangled, a weather-beaten rag as ever, from any garden scarecrow dangled. They, twisted between nave and spoke, it hung, nor could at once be freed. But our joint pains unloosed the cloak, a miserable rag indeed. And whither are you going, child? Tonight, alone, these lonesome ways? To Durham, answered she, half wild. Then come with me into the chase. Insensible to all relief, sat the poor girl, and forth did send sob after sob, as if her grief could never, never have an end. My child, in Durham do you dwell? She checked herself in her distress and said, My name is Alice Fell. I am fatherless and motherless, and to Durham, sir, belong. Again, as if the thought would choke her very heart, her grief grew strong, and all was for her tattered cloak. The chase drove on, our journey's end was nigh, and sitting by my side, as if she had lost her only friend, she wept, nor would be pacified. Up to the tavern door we posed, of Alice and the grief I told, and I gave money to the host to buy a new cloak for the old, and let it be of doleful grey, as warm a cloak as man can sell. Proud creature as she, the next day, the little orphan Alice fell. The poem ends here. I hope you would have enjoyed this video. If you want to add on anything to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.